She got the groove, baby, and you know she got it good. But no one ever saw her coming out from the neighborhood. She's gonna raise the bar.
Little sister, they're here at the gallery, and they just got photographed by Mark Farrell.
That was really fun.
Yeah.
Super cool.
That was incredible.
Good at what he does.
Yeah. Really.
And now we're going to do a little interview with them. So I understand you're from New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Yeah. And have you been to the mile before?
We've never even been to Wisconsin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
First time.
Ever in Wisconsin.
Okay.
And driving through Nebraska, we were a little worried. Because I was like, what are we driving towards?
And Iowa.
Just to see
Because you
it
thought,
green.
well, Nebraska, you flat, not all that there, and you're like, this was.
Where are we going to now?
Lots of corn.
This is a long way off the track. But I got this shirt day one, and we got to meet amazing people day one, so it's already been worth the trip. But then we played the bus today.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, you guys, that was a riot. Who invented that idea? I want to know who came up with that idea.
How do they fit you guys on the bus?
And it was just perfect.
They have some seats taken out on the very end, and we stood. I mean, it was a little tricky, but yeah.
But I mean, I've seen bands.
Oh yeah.
It would be crazy.
No, it's legit.
It's just two of us.
If they did that every day, those buses would be full all the time.
Do you know how happy your city would be if you had that every day on the bus? And people were like, it would be like, oh, it's Monday. If you guys did a Monday series.
Yeah.
No one would have a bad Monday ever in Appleton, right?
Happy go to work
always be a happy day. See? Hey, you guys, I got ideas for days. Ideas for days.
So how did you two meet?
So I left Alaska 10 years ago to Alaska, born and raised, and to pursue the thing I knew was true about me, which is that I was to do music for a living and for a lifestyle and for a calling. And so it took me a long time to finally trek off from Alaska and everything I'd known to work with a record producer. So Rob was my record producer 10 years ago on my very first solo album. And then he made the mistake of singing a harmony on one of my songs. And I was like, that works. We'll do that now.
So we've been doing that ever since.
We've been doing that almost 10 years.
And where were you from?
I'm actually from Portland.
You're
He
from
moved
Portland.
from Alaska to Portland to record with me. I'm from Portland. And then 2 years ago, we decided to relocate the band to New Mexico.
Yep, Moody HQ
Moody HQ.
relocated to New Mexico 2 years ago.
Oh, nice.
A little town called Truth or Consequences.
Consequences.
Are you really? Yeah.
One of my favorite flagship programs.
Yes,
They're our
those are our
friends.
buddies.
They're our neighbors.
Are they?
They're
Yeah.
7 blocks from our house. We
We were
moved.
there last year. We bought their entire collection.
Yeah. Yeah, so those guys are coming to town next Saturday. So we're sticking around an extra week.
Oh, nice.
And we're going to play a double show with them on the 10th at Outer Edge.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen our buddies since May. And we cried when they went on tour because we love our buddies so much.
We've gotten really close.
And then they're going to come back in town and we're going to play a show together. I'm pretty sure we're going to shoot lightning bolts out of our eyeballs. Because we're going to be so excited
Well, we're
to
going to
see
have
our
to take the
friends.
cameras and get all of that.
Yes, that'd be great.
So we're really looking forward to that. But they said this is one of the best festivals you'll ever play. And we've only been here 24 hours. And it
It's
is so
amazing.
good.
It's
It's
amazing.
so amazing.
Thank you to the
Yeah.
folks who put it on.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you for coming. You're seeing Wisconsin. This is pretty much it.
Yeah.
We like to have fun and get out and hear bands.
People are nice here.
Hey, they're just
They're
kind.
nice. They're kind people. Yeah, you can just tell that this community supports this festival too, which is
Oh,
a
yeah.
really cool thing to see.
It just keeps growing.
It's great.
So you're going to do a little song for us here?
We could sing you a little tune. This is one we didn't get to yet today, but we probably will tonight at Jim's,
Yes.
wherever Jim's is
820.
Jim's Place,
820.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
down the mile.
So this is a really simple song with a simple idea that if we were just more compassionate and nice to each other, the world would be an easier place to live,
Like Wisconsin.
like Wisconsin.
Oh, there you go.
You know, kindness continues when you give it away. So this is called Tell Somebody.
trouble. Everywhere I look is trouble. I see trouble in every woman, boy, and girl. Trouble. Everywhere I look is trouble. So what do you do in the troubled world? Tell somebody that you love them with all your heart. Tell somebody that you love them with all your heart. Tell somebody that you love them with all your heart. Worry, everywhere I look is worry. We got worry in every woman, boy, and girl. Worry, everywhere I look is worry. So what do you do in a worried world? You tell somebody that you love them with all your heart. Tell somebody that you love them with all your heart. Tell somebody that you love them with all your heart. 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 Tell somebody that you love them with all your heart. Tell somebody that you love them with all your heart. Tell somebody that you love them with all your heart. Ooh, go ahead now and tell somebody that you love them with all your heart. Go ahead now and tell somebody that you love them with all your heart. Go ahead now, I said now, and tell somebody that you love them with all your heart. Go ahead now and tell somebody.
Right on, Mark.
I love you too. I love you too, Mark. Yes, absolutely you could. We got this planned. We just need 3 photo shoots from here to eternity. We'll trade you photo shoots for
This guy.
Right?
This guy's worth visiting Appleton for.
Yes, and we can just add him to the list of people that may have made it worth it to come here today. A hug right off the bat.
Yeah.
We met each other with a hug. I love it. I love it. Sometimes you just know.
Yeah.
You open your mouth and it's over.
Love it.
Well, thank you guys.
Awesome.
Thanks for letting us pop in. That was great. Yeah, that was
No deal.
awesome.
Well, thanks for offering this. We just read the flyer and said, that sounds good. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we always need more content for every single thing we do. So.
Always.
This is my first year actually doing something with them now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've seen the crowds for the last 6 years, and I think you're going to be spending some more money this year.
Oh, thank you guys.
Awesome.
We like that one. It's a feel good. At Jim's
Tonight at
8:20.
Jim's place.
Jim's place.
Just down the road.
So you said you were a music producer before?
Yes. Yeah. For 15 years, I ran a recording studio in Portland.
Okay.
before we moved.
And were you a solo act then?
I was a solo act, yeah. I had a band in Alaska, and we made a record, and we were all in. We did the whole, like, yay, team. And then we made a record, and we all blew up in a million pieces. And the band broke up, and nobody was really actually in but me. And so I trekked off by myself to a big city I'd never been to, didn't have any friends, didn't know the first thing about getting my first gig. But I had a 130-pound dog with me and a piano and a sound system. And I figured I'm Alaskan, I can figure this kind of thing out. You know, it's a little bit of hard work and pull up your bootstraps. And that's not exactly how it works. As you know, the music industry is crazy. But yeah, I cut my teeth in the music scene in Portland, and it was good. I was just actually telling somebody about the very first open mic night I played in Portland. I trekked my piano and its stand and all my chords 17 blocks to the bar where there was an open mic night. And a guy sat down next to me and he said, "Can I sit at your table with you?" And I said, "Well, sure." And so he had drinks and dinner. And funny thing, when I went up on my slot to do my open mic night, he takes off. He left all that on my tab. So I won the open mic night and got like $40 or whatever it was, and I had to use the whole thing to pay off that jerk's
Pay for that
tab.
schmuck's beers.
Whoever that guy is, oh man, I got a finger for his eye socket whenever I see him next time.
I never heard that one.
Well, I guess, when you said that, he started harmonizing with you.
Thank you, yeah. Yeah, our voices work great together. And we're a good team.
Yeah.
We're a good team, and that's really important when you're stuffed in a van pretty close to somebody. You gotta respect them at the end of the day, you know.
So do you still do it, record producing also?
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, when we did record our new record at this new studio in New Mexico, but for the last 2 years we've been building a studio. So it's just about to the point of being done. After we go home and give it a couple more months, I'm gonna be ready to start inviting people down.
Yeah.
To do some recording.
Yeah, so Rob trekked all his recording stuff all the way
Yeah.
to New Mexico to a town in the middle of nowhere, 2 hours from anywhere.
And a grand piano and the whole nine, a Hammond organ, and it all came down. So yeah.
Bands to go to record.
Absolutely.
And it's a hot spring town, so they can come soak and
Yeah, and I cook the
record.
meals because I'm Italian.
That'll be the next
So-
big area that music comes from.
Yeah, right?
Could be.
Yeah, well, now that Flagship Romance lives in town.
And
too,
several
you
others.
know, and several other touring acts actually have come through and decided to stay.
Oh, there you
So
go.
we got a little bit of a vortex going on, that's sucking people in. I know,
little renaissance
right?
happening.
Don't tell anybody. Shh.
We'll edit that out of it. Stop the internet.
Don't you hear me?
So, how many gigs are you playing here?
I think we have 7 altogether.
7 total, but we've already
Yeah.
done 2 of them.
Yeah, so 1 tonight, 3 tomorrow, and then 1 more on Sunday.
And did you, had you heard about it on the road, or did someone recruit
You know, Flagship Romance. They told us about this
Mhm.
festival, and yeah, we had no idea. And they just said, all the festivals we've ever played, you need to make the trek out to this, because it's a long ways off our tour. We have to go, after we're done here, we trek for 3 days straight to Oregon. So, yeah, and we've already put how many miles on the van?
13,000 this tour.
13,000 this tour so far. We have a month and a half left to go on our tour, so we're going to put around 20,000.
Yeah, easily.
So when you don't know and you've never been to it, we don't have one fan in the region, right? Like there's nobody on all your little, yeah, right? Like, so you trek all the way out, it's a big deal to have never been there before. So, but they said it's worth it. So we trust our friends, and they were right. This has been amazing so far.
How many albums do you have?
This will be our 2nd album.
And we have a single as well, but just two full length.
And this is not released yet till the end of the year, so these live shows are the only place to get our records for fans. Yeah, and it's called Great Big Mama Sunshine, and it's totally inspired by moving to the desert and the relationship we started with the desert 4 years ago that changed my life. And I had no idea a place could change you as a person. I believe in like the personal journey and your inner work and all that. But I didn't realize that if you physically moved to a different location, that could really change you as a human being. And that's the experience I had moving to the desert. So this whole album is about all the things that that came to the surface, and like the solar-powered person that was inside of me that had not been alive yet until I got into the desert sunshine. So, yeah, it's been really good. And I've been telling everybody, you know, if you're the kind of person that when winter comes around, you promise yourself you're going to work out at the gym and take the dog on a walk, but instead it's cheesy casseroles and a lot of Netflix, you may just want to move. You may just want to move. Because it gets better out there, people.
Yeah.
For us wintry, the people that don't do winter well, which I was one of those, so imagine how fun my childhood was.
I've been to Alaska a couple times. I can't even imagine. But I'm from Arizona, so I moved here on purpose.
Right. If you got the heat first, it's like everyone wants the opposite of what they do.
Yeah, I
right?
guess so.
Yeah.
Guess so.
So, how long have you been playing?
I know this is going to sound weird, but I have been writing songs since I was 5. And I sat down to a piano when I was 5, and I could play it by ear, so I learned with that instrument from a very internal place, you know, and I didn't really realize that music was going to require me to get in front of people. And I was almost 14 when it became clear to me that I probably needed to share all these songs I was writing. And that was a really, like, it was a bummer day, right? Because I didn't want to get in front of people. So that's taken me a long time to get at ease with that fact that this is just part of what you do as a musician is get on stage in a new place every night in front of strange people you don't know and give your heart out, you know, and see what happens. So, but yeah, I've been writing songs, playing the piano, and then when we got invited on a 8-day rafting trip through the heart of the Grand Canyon, all expenses paid, if we would be the music, we absolutely said yes, but you can't very well take a piano into a canyon for 8 days on a raft. So I picked up the guitar, and I had 8 months to just hammer out as much as I could to try and learn at least 10 or 12 of our own songs so we could sing in this canyon. And it totally changed my life. Playing the guitar, being in that Grand Canyon, and being in the desert, it changed everything about the way we write music and walk through the world. So it really was, I know people use that phrase a lot. It changed my life, right? Like Gold Bond medicated powder does that, right? But I'm telling you that the Grand Canyon truly will change your life if you go in it. So I came home and I told my friends, sell your furniture, go in the Grand Canyon, because that really did. It changed everything. So the sound, so I used my voice on the walls of the canyon. And this natural reverb that happened was unbelievable. There was a moment in the canyon where I didn't feel worthy of the moment. It was such a sacred moment. But I've used my voice very different. It's like the canyon taught me how to sing, and I've used my voice completely different since I went in that canyon 4 years ago. So it's a totally different record than the record we put out 5 years ago, and we're really excited. I feel like we've finally found our stride as musicians and found where we've settled into as a sound. So, but that takes a long time, a lot of shows, and a lot of mistakes, and a lot of awkward moments. Yeah.
How long have you been?
I got my first drum set when I was 8, so I started on drums, and I played
That's great
drums
on
up until like past college age, and then I picked. You know, I was always dabbling on the guitar, but I started my first band at about 26, actually playing guitar, and then been doing that ever since. Doing both actually ever since.
How'd you get into producing then?
I just got really interested in it through making records as an artist, just being fascinated by the process, you know, and I had a couple of mentors that were just willing to help me navigate it, and just started building stuff in my basement, and then I got laid off at work with 1,400 other people, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. So I did it. Never looked back. Yeah.
You gonna do another song for us?
Yeah.
Sure, we could do one. What do you want to do? We want to do Big Old Blue, or
Well, yeah, we could do
or
that.
we could do the love song.
You
or
mentioned Great Big Moon of Sunshine, but or we could do.
I don't know if I can do that one sitting down.
Okay.
That's
yeah.
the only thing. Or we could do Sleeping Lady. You want to do one about Alaska?
That could be fun.
That could be fun. This was one that didn't make the record, but you know, there's always some of those. We write too many songs. We wrote 35 songs between our last record.
You gotta
and this
save
one.
those for ever released.
Yeah, or we do like a little.
Like the little bootleg series,
the
like Dylan
bootleg
does.
series.
There you
Yes.
go.
But everyone likes this one. We've been singing it for a long time. There's a mountain in Alaska called Sleeping Lady. And there's legends about the giant people that used to walk the earth. And there's a story about a giant woman who fell in love with a giant man, and then he ran off and did some crap, and he never came back, right? We all know it's like that tragic opera kind of story. And I don't love those type of stories. I think they're a little codependent.
Yeah.
And I like stories maybe where you get over it eventually and move on with your life. So that's kind of more what we wrote. But those are the mountains and the hillsides that shaped me as a kid. Was the mountain called
Okay.
Richesons.
I got a little here if you want it.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Hey, oh, hey, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh. They say the painted lady who walks on the starry skies fell from the dancing lights of the bright night, and the hands that catch her fall, a handsome man of a summer moon, bound together while the ocean bowed the tide. But he was gone by springtime, little darling. Lay your body on the rocking stone. Tears fall together as they forge the rivers. Sleeping lady of the mountain, mountain that I love. If you have loved the sparrow, become the bluebird sky. You love the lady, become a shadow. Become the shadow. If you have loved the water, become a salmon swimming. If you love the man, become what he's winning. 'Cause he'll be gone by springtime, little darling. Lay your body on the rocking stone. Tears fall together as they forge the rivers. Sleeping lady of the mountain, mountain that I love. Mountain that I love. If you believe in lovers, then you never ask them why. If you be a river, you never die. But you'll be gone by springtime, little darling. Lay your body on the rock and song. Tears fall together as they forge the rivers. Sleeping lady of the mountain, sleeping lady of the mountain, mountain that I love. Mountain that I love.
mountain that I love, mountain that I love.
Oh, right. That was great.
Thank you.
Wish we could.
Thank you.
Oh, you guys are definitely headed for super.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, we thank you for coming in and doing the interview with us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
You know you want to snowbird in New Mexico.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on. This is a perfect place for snowbirders to go to a hot place in the winter. Because
You
who
can-
wants to shovel snow?
They're
Let's just
gonna
get
go
real.
out someday, and they're gonna see you out there.
I'm just going to walk out in my yard and Mark's going to be like, I came. I'm here.
You asked me to. No, you can pick up a little trailer down there for $25,000 and just visit in the winter. It's
I've
great.
got a little peanut camper with AC.
Oh yeah.
Sleeps
Yeah.
too comfortably.
But they like each other.
Trouble, everywhere I look is trouble. I see trouble in every woman, man, boy, and girl. Trouble, everywhere I look is trouble.